We're laughing already because here in the Cayman Islands interview lounge because comedian Bill Burr has stopped by this morning. Bill, thanks for coming to the Cayman Kind Studio.
Oh, thank you for having me in the Cayman Island
Yes.
Memorial Studios.
That's what it is.
Something like that.
And we're glad to have you. You got a busy week. We're just looking at your schedule. You're going to be on Fallon and Conan, right, this
Yep.
week?
I'm Media Boy this week. I got a new animated show, or a cartoon as I still call it, coming out on Netflix called F is for Family. 6 episodes. It's about this family, the Murphy family. It takes place in 1973. And it's the 70s as far as how Mike Price, one of the co-creators of the show, how we remember it.
And your voice of the dad.
I'm the voice of the dad, who's an amalgam of my dad, Mike's dad, and everybody else in the writer's room. It's basically, we set it back where in that time where you could, kids today, they wear helmets when they ride bicycles, they have play dates and all that, and back then they just sent you outside, like, get out of here.
It was
Go
great.
outside, you could literally bring a gun to the airport back then. If you had
You
your
literally
briefcase, as long as you didn't wave it around, it was
funny.
fine. It was just like a different time, and I just, throughout my career, I've been telling, like, family stories on stage, and they always did well, and then somewhere about 8 years ago, as that, play date generation came of age, it started getting, like, not groans, like, started going like that, even though that they had dads like my dad.
Right.
Like, that dad still exists, and mom still exists, but now it's, like, socially, this whole, that's bullying, that's traumatic for the kid, and it just became, like, this overly thinking things, and, so I just got frustrated and I stopped telling the stories, but I knew they were still funny. And one day I was walking my dog. I was like, what if I just animated them? And I just was going to do these little 5-minute vignettes on my website, like, Burr family goes to get a Christmas tree, and then all the dysfunction. Of course, being a comedian, I procrastinated and I never did it. So then one day I had a meeting with Vince Vaughn's company, Wild West, and I just sort of just threw it out there, and they were looking to do the show. Then we got in business with Netflix, and Netflix came up with the brilliant idea to serialize it, which I didn't know means have one episode leading to the next one,
Right.
which really took the writing to another level. And then here we are, 4 years later.
Yeah. No, I mean, we had a chance to watch it today. First of all, it's called F is for Family, but probably not for the family. It's an adult version.
Well, it's not for
adult
kids.
show. Right, not for kids.
Yeah, but families will totally be able to relate to this. If you want to go
understand,
yeah, if you had any sort of, family that I grew up in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, how close is it to your family? Like, how many kids did you grow up with?
Oh no, it's if we had 6 kids. So
Oh,
there's
okay.
only 3 kids. I mean, you're not gonna have 6 different kids in drama. It's not
Yeah,
like
it's hard
Top
to
Cat
drama.
where you can have 20 cats running around. It becomes a pain in the butt. So you just sort of like I took
It's a lot of
pieces, pieces of all, just pieces from my life. Every writer. What I like about it is my family can watch it and not be like, oh my God, you put all our dirty laundry
Right.
out there. But they will see elements and hints and stuff like that. And sometimes it's just a 10-speed bicycle. Other times it's like a catchphrase. Like my dad saying, I'll put you through that bleeping wall, was something that he used to say. And
You can't say that now. Dads can't say
Yeah, you
that.
can.
You can?
you can do all of that stuff.
Turn
Like,
me in.
There's this
Yeah.
whole
Me too.
there's this whole Chicken Little, the sky is falling, and that people believe you can't say things like that stuff you were talking about, like the polar bear with the
Yeah, the
Starbucks
Starbucks cookie.
It's the Starbucks
yeah,
polar bear
that is
cookie,
one of
yeah.
the biggest non-stories I've ever heard in
Yeah,
my life.
yeah,
Like
it
it is. Its throat's flash. No, it's a scarf. We screwed it up. It's supposed to be a scarf. Oh, okay. That's
It's a
what it
huge
should
story.
be. It's supposed to be everybody flipping out.
Right.
Half of those people flipping out about the polar bear. They have iPads and flat screen TVs that all end up in the ocean,
Right,
which is
right.
why those polar bears are drowning.
That's why, yeah.
But you're not going to adjust that part of your life, but you're going to bitch about the cookie.
Right.
Yes.
But
Yes,
So-
about the cookie.
Yes.
but F is for Family. When is it available on Netflix?
December 18th.
Okay.
All you can binge watch all of them.
Binge watch. They're
Yeah.
all there's
So it took us over a year to draw and do all that. And you,
Well,
can,
that's what
Done in
people
a
do
few
now.
hours.
you can watch it all in about
That's
2
what we're
hours,
gonna
40
do.
minutes, and be like, hey, when's the next 6 coming out? But I'm really proud of it. It's not just like, we can curse on the show, which we
Yeah.
obviously...
That's what I
We
meant by
do.
saying for the kids.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of... We still... There's that baby of the greatest moment in the end, like when it
Right.
always came back. And I just remember with
Right.
my family, we're going to get a Christmas tree, and there'd be all this traumatic dysfunction of
Yeah.
trying to get the army of kids and everybody into the car and having the whole thing
Station
work.
wagon, right?
Yeah, and then but then in the end, the fire's going, you're decorating the tree.
And it all works
Yeah,
out.
and everything settles, the dust
Yeah,
settles
it's all
back
good.
down again. Yeah, it was very
No, the show's great, and we really enjoyed it. And it's funny, and it does have that that honeymooners kind of like you said, baby,
That
you're
element,
great.
yeah.
But it's a really cool to watch it because to me it's a period piece. I grew up in the '70s,
Right.
phone on the wall, like you said, the Stingray's a 10-speed bike, so it's gonna be fun. And I think even for a younger generation to look back and go, wow, that was probably a cool time to grow up.
But also, I think a lot of them can also relate to the same stuff. I mean, we're going to have, kids wanting, taking out the family car, kids trying to hook up, and...
You got some big stars, some big voice stars.
Oh,
Laura
yeah,
Dern's
yeah.
in it, right?
Laura Dern does the voice of Susan, Frank's wife, the character that I play. Justin Long does Kevin. Haley Reinhardt from American Idol
Yeah.
does the voice of me, Little Me, I should say.
Oh, is that right?
Debbie Derryberry,
Nice.
if you watch any Pixar movies, she's probably in all over it. Gary Cole, Dave Keckner.
I mean, it's a big name.
Sam
how
Rockwell.
Does that happen? Like, how do you get these people?
You know
on
what?
board
We
for
wrote a
that?
great script.
Right.
That's what happened. We wrote a really funny script, and then I forget who signed on first. But once you bring one of them in the
Right.
boat, then all of a sudden it becomes, oh, this is a real thing. And it was probably the most exciting thing was getting people that I have all that respect for
Right.
to actually react to what we all wrote. And we had a great writers room: Dave Richardson, Emily Towers, Tom Giannis, and I just remember laughing
Mm-hmm.
the whole time. I mean, there's obviously, it's always hard when you first start an episode,
Yeah.
just getting the rock moving up the hill. But once you got that first draft and after the second punch up, that's when it really got fun. And that's when you could really tighten it up and really,
How many episodes?
there's 6.
Okay.
So they kind of gave us
So you
6
got
just
the
to
groove.
see how it does. And if how it works at Netflix is they put the whole thing out at once. And then if people respond to it, then they just do an order of the second season. So when that's going to happen, I don't know how soon.
You need
that
views,
happens.
right? I
So-
mean,
I'm
that's
sure.
yeah, that's how it
Yes.
works,
Yeah.
right?
And we're also coming out the same day as Star Wars. So
Oh.
I'm hoping,
That's right. You can't get tickets to Star Wars, so
yeah,
This is, if you have
maybe people
Netflix.
will watch. People telling me I'm going to watch while I stand in line for Star Wars.
Yeah,
and
just
I'm
do
going to
that.
binge
Sleep
watch
out
this
overnight.
But that's what people do now. Like, Christine is, got me into Walking Dead, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
how you
Oh.
guys watch it. Just
Binge watching.
Yeah.
stuff. Oh, I
Oh,
watched
yeah.
Bloodline, and I
Oh,
watched
yes.
Peaky Blinders. I'm watching Fargo.
Mm-hmm.
And,
It's
I
too
just-
easy. I mean, because
Yeah.
the next one just rolls and rolls, and you
Yeah, next thing you
can't
know,
get
it's
off
4
the
in
couch,
the morning.
right?
And you're like, oh my God, I got to do radio here.
Just want to see what happens in the next episode. Okay, I'm watching another hour.
Yeah.
And then it goes and it goes. But I mean, Netflix is such a great venue. They've got, I think, the most Golden Globe nominations.
Oh,
It's
is
like,
that right?
Yeah. It's
Are they not
like the
afraid
place
to
be.
be not politically correct? Because I mean, in parts of the show, there was like, "Wow, you."
Well, no, yeah,
you
the
know what I'm saying?
networks, their notes were basically push it further. It was the dream.
Wow.
But that whole political correctness, it's just, I swear to God.
That's your hot button, Bill.
No, it's not. It isn't though. It's just like people are adults. They understand. Look, if animated characters can destroy all of your parenting in 6 episodes, you're like the worst parent ever.
You're the worst parent.
Yeah, or there's something wrong with your kid. He was just born with the Damien seed or whatever.
But
It's just
it was
Well,
refreshing to see that you do those things because, ironically, and I think maybe that was the inspiration for it too, is that's what you got away with in the '70s. You couldn't do Archie Bunker now. Maybe you could do
you
it.
totally could.
Right?
If the networks
You could
and
be
the
Archie
advertisers could just stand up to these, like so many of these groups, they're just bullies and they deliberately take things out of context. Look, I'm a believer that if you're wrong, you apologize. But you don't let somebody, if they take something out of, like that stupid polar bear.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's a scarf.
Yeah.
It's a scarf.
Yeah,
So now
yeah,
I have
right.
to apologize because you think we, like, what kind of a dope thinks that Starbucks is going to have a bear with a slit throat
Yeah.
in the holidays?
Yeah.
Like they sat around and have, that's what we're going to do. We have
Has-
polar bears with its throat cut.
Wait a minute. Do
Huh?
we know?
This will drum up business, and then I
Have
think
they
it's also.
apologized yet? Do we know? Because they
No,
probably no, they haven't
I don't
apologized
think
yet.
they're gonna
Okay.
But I
apologize.
think it becomes like clickbait. It's
Right.
really lazy journalism, and
Yeah.
and it's an easy thing. I swear to God, like comedians get more blowback than bankers. who depleted the savings of people who fought in wars for this
Right.
country, and
Right.
they're eating Alpo now, sitting in some old folks' home instead of their house that they should have had. And those guys, none of them go to jail. But God forbid you tell a joke in a strip mall
Right.
that somebody and one person out of
Right.
like 400 doesn't like it, and that becomes the story. And they write a blog about it, and they treat the blogger like they won like a Peabody Award for the New York
Right,
Times.
right.
It's just some dope in the crowd who sat there and watched 100 subjects go by, and everything was funny, and then it came to their part of their life, and oh, that was a statement.
Yeah.
He meant that
Right.
one.
It struck a nerve.
Yeah, they're
Right.
babies.
Have
They're
you,
babies, and if you just stand up to them, they're bullies.
Have you changed up your stand-up at all? Because
No.
you said you felt it happen. Like you felt this change about 8 years ago, and a lot, Jerry Seinfeld, a lot of comedians have addressed this.
You know, I
that-
never felt it in the club. I just
Uh-huh.
saw people's I just saw how it worked. And I have a podcast network, okay?
Plug it.
The
Go
All
ahead.
the All Things
Yeah.
Comedy Network. And when we have a friend of ours has a special coming out, we go, okay, we're all tweeting in 3, 2, 1, and
Right.
there's like 500 of us, and we all tweet, and it gets momentum. That's
Right.
500 people in a country of over 400 million can get
Right.
momentum on social media with 500 tweets at the same time. So when they sit there and they act like the sky is falling and everybody's freaking out, it's strategic. How you get offended.
Right.
Like, they're on, T minus, we're going to
Yeah,
be
right.
offended. And T minus, and
Well, I know, go back to Seinfeld. He won't do colleges anymore. At least that's what I've heard, because it's so PC that
I don't know that
everyone's
he won't
offended.
do colleges. I saw that interview. I think he was making, and that was another thing. He just basically said what was out there. And then even that was like,
Right.
is he thinking about retiring? And even then they blew that up. It's
Right.
just constantly, I think, because there's so many places to watch and listen to things now. If there's any ripple, you have to make it look like, oh my God, what is this?
Right.
And try to like just pumping everything up and making a story even when there isn't one there. So it's a cartoon. It's adult humor. There's adults.
It's fun.
Nothing bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
ISIS doesn't get stronger. It's just relax.
No,
Just
it's-
sit down and watch it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you do, watch it.
Binge it if you do binge.
Yeah,
it's
that's it.
fun. It's F is for family, and again, it's available December 18th on Netflix. And
Yes.
and again, you
Now,
can visit.
depending on the fact that I know you have mature adults listening to this, and they'll be able to
Absolutely.
They'll love it. They'll love
There
it
you
because
go.
the most
We'll
of
have
them
a
grew,
good time. Have a
most
good
of them grew
laugh.
up in the 70s. It's going to be like a homecoming
There
thing.
you go.
Bill, thanks for coming in. We
Hey, thank you for
appreciate it.
having me. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Bill Burr in the studio, everybody.
You ever try to get abs? You ever try to get all the abs and get that shit down here? You ever try to do it? It's fucking impossible. Past the age of 19, you can't do it without tons of help. You gotta buy all these exercise tapes. You gotta read about nutrition. You gotta get a personal trainer having you fucking running along. You need like your own chef, and he's like, okay, don't eat it yet. Don't eat it yet. All right, now, eat it. Start consuming it. All right, stop. Slow down. Stop. Stop. Spit it out. Spit it out. I told you to stop. Get on the elliptical. Now you like that Brussels sprout? Did you like that Brussels sprout? Because now you're paying for it. It's a fucking miserable experience. Just walking around, your whole body's eating yourself. You want some cake? No, just take a salad. Balsamic vinaigrette on the side, no croutons. Oh my God, when is the photo shoot? I want to kill myself. It's horrible. You ever try to get fat? No, you don't have to. It's effortless. You can fucking lay on your back, watching your favorite show, just shoveling shit down your throat. What are you doing? I'm getting fat. I'm getting fat. You got a trainer? Don't need one. It's natural. I just eat everything that makes my sugar salt go like, yeah, woo, yeah. Comes right in. Nice roll of fucking flab. No, that's another one. No means no. It's like, no, it doesn't. All right? Look, no means no. No, that means no. All right, but no, stop it. What are you doing? Oh my God. You're being so bad. Stop it. No. Yeah, that's not a fucking no. That means I want to do it, but I'm afraid you're going to judge me, so I'm just going to make it look like it was your idea so you don't figure out that I've already performed this act with 40 other fucking people. Right? But then you go to court and you get a bad read and there's some guy reading it. Your Honor, she said no. Stop it. What are you doing? You're being so bad. Yeah, and you're just sitting there like, she didn't fucking say it like that! She didn't say it like that! I've been battling with my girlfriend a lot lately. She loves to watch the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I love to watch her watch the Oprah Show. And then I wait for Oprah to say something that I don't agree with, and then I take it out on my girlfriend, because I'm a jerk. So, Oprah brings out her first guest, right? She gives her this huge intro. She's written a book, she's been in a movie, and she does the most difficult job on the planet. She's a mother. So immediately, I look at my girlfriend, I'm like, really? Being a mother is the most difficult job on the planet? How many moms died on ice road truckers last season? You know, any moms get washed overboard on Deadliest Catch? No, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but which job would you rather have? You want to scoop crabs up off the bottom of the ocean, hanging off some rusty tugboat, catching that trap to the back of your head every couple of weeks? Or you want to hang out in the sunshine with a couple of rugrats? You know, you can send them to bed anytime you want on some trumped up charges. Yeah. Trumped up charges, yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July is a redhead. You know? I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. How do they do it? Oh, the way they push that stroller with the round wheels. Yeah, and the baby in there. It's the most difficult job on the planet. Going to war pinned down by a sniper. What a joke. It's a joke. You ever burp a baby and forget to put that towel up there? Oh, there's another shirt you gotta wash, right? Oh yeah, lift with your knees and put it in that machine that does it for you. People, any job you can do in your pajamas is not difficult. Sure, it's draining, but come on, man. Being a stay-at-home mom, that's like my dream job. No boss, no time card, no taxes. You're off the grid. Hanging out all day, making grilled cheese sandwiches. Giving a puppet show, you dress like a dragon. Then some other adult comes home and gives you money. Yeah. Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know. A lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know. I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me! Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy! How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades.
I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 in the morning on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. Because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's what, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking that it's completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watch the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die. And I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then
then you'd be sitting there like, goddamn, look at Doc. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, you know? God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. There's so much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work. It comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling for another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over when it's sleeping, but if you fuck it, you're going to jail. All right, I'm thinking about getting a dog, everybody. I am. No, I'm at the point. Nothing alive is dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to like adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, you know, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, you know? Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. You know, because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak, right? I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm just, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? Time to man up, man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, you know? Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, you know? I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. You know when you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, you know? So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof. You don't got to hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. We could still trip her. Just throwing that out.
I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. You know, I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. You know? More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And he goes, hey, you know, I'm actually thinking it's kind of pretty high. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, that blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that they do? That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400 grand a year. That's it. He's trying to keep billionaires in line, making $400 grand a year. That's all he makes. He makes less than some people blogging on the internet. The president should have you money, right? He shouldn't be sitting there with his pockets turned inside. I need your help to get me the job, right? What do you guys all donate to the campaign? Is that what it is?
I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married. Let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know what I mean? Isn't anybody looking at the stats? You know what I mean? 3 out of 4 marriages go right down the shitter, right? If you were going skydiving and they told you 3 out of 4 parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, fuck that, I'm not going. Like, I don't like those odds. I have a 75% chance of splatting on the ground. But there's something about getting married. People just have to do it, right? They're just like, is this the line to lose half my shit? Awesome. This is going to be great. No, I'm just kidding. I love women. I'm just not compatible with them. No, they got too much energy for me. You notice I said they always have to be doing something. You know, like they can't like take a day off, you know? You can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! You can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $52 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs, like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. I was dating this girl recently. She was like really into like women's issues, because women always go on TV, they say all they want is to be treated exactly like guys. But if you listen to them, they don't. All they want is the good shit of being a guy. They're cherry picking. They look at a guy's life like it's like a buffet, right? Like you just can start picking out stuff like same amount an hour. We'll take some of that. Pay for the movie. Fuck that. You can keep that one. I don't like that one. This is nice. That's yucky. That's icky. Hey, come on, people, you can't choose. This girl gives me shit. She goes, well, why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. That's why I get the $1 more an hour. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out. Like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? You think I want to stay in the vault? Those 20 other sweaty guys sharing a bag of peanuts, praying to God I'm not the hostage who gets dragged out by the psycho with a gun to my head as he's asking the cops for a helicopter, which I know he's not going to get, right? I know he's not getting the helicopter. So now I got to make idle conversation with the 38 to my head going, dude, go for a rent-a-car. I think you should go for the rent-a-car. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, little short, little haircut, Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. No, that's why I hated that movie, the Titanic. Every girl I meet thinks that movie's romantic. It's irritating. I think, that was really romantic, don't you think? It's like, no! It's a fucking horror film. And they're always like, why? I'm like, because all the guys die. See, you're watching it trying to relate, going, who would I be? You'd be that chick floating away in the big piece of luggage, right? I'm watching it going, who would I be? I'd be that dude when, the boat breaks in half. That dude who, falls straight down and bangs off the shit and goes in the water. That's who I'd be. I'd be wearing a tuxedo, not because I wanted to, but you wanted to dress up that night, right? I'd be falling the whole way down going, I should have fucked that chick in first class. All right, listen, I'm out of time. You guys had a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Good night.
Bill, how are you?
What's going on? Oh, thank you. Thank you, all seven of you. And the 4 Kevin Harts.
Yeah.
Is he in the black section of the crowd? That's
Yes.
what it seems like. They've moved up to the middle. Progress. I like it.
There you are. Look at Billy.
How are you?
You look like a fucking
I
prize.
get my stupid headphones to work here. Something that'll work. Let me see if these ones will work. Hold on a second.
No, they work good.
My headphones aren't working for me, though.
Oh, okay.
It's about me, Nick. It's not about you here. Here we go.
All right. So
Yes, I am.
second season.
The deepest couch in sports
A
entertainment.
lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
A giant desk.
And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country.
Yeah. Yell at other people's kids.
So
This is very we're very
You wouldn't know that we like each other. Let's try to tone it down here.
No, I'm not. I'm just. No,
I know what happened. You came right at me just saying my theories stunk. I'm just here to promote a cartoon. I'm a dancing monkey today. I'm trying to be a good guy. I want people to like me and watch the show here, and you're coming at me. I don't know anything about hoop. I'm a 5'10" white guy.
This dude is knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill Burr. Look at you.
How are you?
Oh, it's
I
good.
love that you did the audience applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on. Keep it going for him.
You know, I shouldn't have to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't buy it. And then there are people that.
I love those people.
What?
Yeah,
you like the people that flip out?
Yeah, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Don't wear it. Go kill yourself. It's awesome. Because I have to be honest with you, I know a lot of people died from COVID, but I'm starting to see the traffic come back, and I selfishly thought I wish it killed a few more.
I've always kind of been slightly dubious of a comedy competition, though.
You don't have any confidence.
What?
You can't get up there and just do your dick jokes better than other people?
No, I can't. I feel like it's not the right way to go about it.
All you have to do is be louder than someone else.
Oh, I can do
And
that.
flap your hands around. You're guaranteed to make the finals. I built a whole career on that.
At some point, I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realized I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food when everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah, I fly a lot, and there's this whole new thing of generation of people that take their socks and their shoes off on the plane. You got to look at their smelly feet, and then they'll literally stand up and they will walk into a commercial airline bathroom. Yeah, use it and then walk and sit back down again.
That's not right.
Yeah, if I was a dictator, those people would be eliminated.
A lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, you know, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that.
I'm just going to tell you how I discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. I was struggling until Bobby Lee discovered me.
Oh, no, not discover you in terms of like, you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh.
Can I tell you that story?
Oh, no, I remember it was a big day in my career. Bobby Lee is finally aware of me. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going to...
This is when things start to happen.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
So are you in the process?
I cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions. It's another guy looking at his phone. I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people are going to miss it. They're going to walk right. He's going to be walking on water, and they're immediately walking by him. They're not even going to see it. Long story short, Hugh Jackman plays the part of Gary Hart, and he was amazing. And I had a really fun scene where we were tailing him. We were chasing him down this alley. And he's like the nicest guy ever, but he's a big guy. He's like 6'4", and he's ripped. And we went down the alley, and his character's mad at our character, and he just turned around and looked at us. And for half a second, I was like, oh, that's Wolverine. And I legit got scared. And he's a big guy, you know? So what's funny in this scene is as the reporter, I have like a notebook, and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival, and all these actors are coming up to me. I love the choice you made. I love the choice you made to drop the notebook. I go, no, dude, that was real. I was like, there's a danger to buying that car. That big yellow, they see that big yellow prancing pony, and they just come out. They come up out of the manhole covers. All these gold diggers, like a zombie movie. And that is a gold digger magnet.
And they're so good at it, they can look and tell if it's rented or not. They know where to look for the sticker. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you.
Yeah,
you got to
no,
come
man.
with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online.
Guys, every time I go into a store and I see something, they go, "Can we get a phone number?" Watching somebody give them the phone number. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I always give the same. Mine is all area codes. They go, "What's your phone number?" I'm like, 323-818-212-5.
We've never taken a break in the middle of a gas tank.
I know, I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game one. Here comes the second of the doubleheader.
Is that a Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No.
Then it's stainless.
Oh, is that what it is?
I
Well,
just-
thank you. Thank you for taking my watch down a notch. I finally felt successful. You see this? You wouldn't say that if I had brown or black hair. Guarantee you. Blonde hair, you'd be over here giving me your watch.
You really are the whitest person I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. Served me well. I've never worked for anything. Yeah, I was born on a yacht. It's just all been downhill.
I don't even mean it in. I don't mean it in a genetic way. I mean like.
I do.
You.
I'm talking full-on white privilege. I was stunned when I first heard about white privilege. I had no idea what it was. It's like, hey, everybody doesn't get to do this.
It seems as if the sun
Pulling
has
up
never
to job
touched you.
interviews right as I get out of the car. You're hired. Go home. We'll see you tomorrow.
Being a mother is the hardest job out
Most difficult job, and Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. There's people that work on like oil. What was that movie that guy made? The fucking, they
There Will
drill
Be Blood?
oil. What is it?
There Will Be Blood?
There Will Be Blood. Out in the ocean, they would drill. I can never remember the names.
Deepwater.
Mark Wahlberg
Yeah,
was in it.
Deepwater Horizon, yeah.
Those guys were working on an oil rig. The fucking thing blows up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas. Yeah, and just the level of reward that is, as annoying as a kid is, like they smile at you and it's over. It's over. So, I mean, you don't get that, working on an oil rig when your buddy's greasy face lights up. You know what? It really is all worth it.
I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest and they were just going, Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last two elections when they could have voted against the black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy, but this white lady, we got to stop her. She's going to take her four-wheeler.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
Yes,
least
and
two
I wanted to
episodes.
talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel you were
probably
being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know we did maybe two jokes about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
well, they just sort of kept moving them around. Like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think
you
I
know
want
what I'm
to.
talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
I like it. Thank you
I
for being
came on.
positive.
That kid was
Positive.
missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know.
And
we
watch-
were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great. It all worked out. He got his own personal graduation. Like, I was in such a great mood. Look how yellow this couch is. It's like the sun.
But what did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so
I was
mad?
just saying, like, yeah, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missile shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that, like, points in the direction that the plane takes off in, you know what I mean?
Hey, this is Southside Steve, and this is Southside Steve TV, and this is Bill Burr.
That's your question?
I'm just saying who you are.
Oh, yeah, all right. I don't like you creep me out with that big microphone and that country western shirt.
Oh, no, this isn't country western. It's like, it's hip now to wear this.
okay.
This is my nightclub look. Yeah, come
Okay.
on.
All right. This is I guess this is the internet, right? You just sort of just throw it out there?
I just throw it out there. I figure you're a funny guy.
Well,
and
yeah, throw it out there. I'll throw it out there, too.
Well, here's the deal. Bill's a comedian. He's at the Punchline. He's in town, and you're a funny guy. You've got these routines in your head, so I figure I'll toss you a mic, and you go.
And I'm going to do stand-up in front of 9 people in a radio station? No, I'm not doing that.
Well, you're taking the fun out of Southside Steve TV.
I'll take, how about I give you $5 and I want to watch you line dance and I'm a racist cowboy.
You just had the baby, right?
Yeah, little Friday morning. I didn't. My wife did. I didn't do anything. I felt unbelievably useless. I was in total panic mode. When I dropped her off at the emergency room, she goes, "All right, you got to go park the car down in the spot." And I swear to God, I was in such fight or flight. I was driving down there. This voice in my head just said, "Just keep going. Just keep going. Just drive away." Of course I wouldn't, but I started laughing. Isn't there like a Bruce Springsteen song about that? Going out to get cigarettes and there's something hilarious about people abandoning their family where, like, I just can't imagine, like, the hell that you would be in to do that move. But just knowing you were going to do it, like the level of excitement that you would have before, like, okay, I'm going to go get some cigarettes. And I'm never going to see you people again, your mother-in-law. All of this stuff is over. You never saw Weird Science, how creepy these nerds are? All these cameras on your phone, all of that. Do people go on Ancestry.com? Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement?
But do you like my mic?
No, I don't. I don't. Please.
Is that comfortable? Is this uncomfortable?
This is, no, don't, man. Honestly. Can I take the mic?
Sure.
Now, that's the number one thing you don't do. As I learned that in broadcasting school, you never give up the microphone. See, now I have the power. This Bob Barker thing.
Yeah.
You're what is this? Rock 100.5. Mm-hmm. This is the worst interview I've ever done. And he's wearing Stetson cologne or something. It's just really overpowering.
How you doing?
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie.
No.
The background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this?
Conspiracy theory has gotten a bad name where now it's become synonymous with like moronic thought. Like if you're into conspiracy theory, if you think like the bankers need to be stopped, then you also think the moon is made out of cheese, and you think that there's shifters and like lizard people. You know, they just try to knock it down. It's like this country started with a conspiracy. That's how it came. We won, so they're considered heroes and rebels, you know, whatever, revolutionaries. But if they lost, they would be hanged for conspiring. Yeah. It's not like it spontaneously happened.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden everybody just picked up a gun and started shooting at the British. You know, they sat around.
They planned it out.
They planned it out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting tired of these people. What is
It's funny when you said we won. I'm like, did we really win? But I understand what you're saying. Now,
is that African American thing?
Yeah.
You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people.
Now, are you getting out of an existing house and a
No, I'm going from a one-bedroom apartment, and I figured I'd finally go out and buy a damn house and not have to deal with, some jerk living above me or below me.
All right.
Yeah. Do my own little thing. Get my little 12 gauge, get a bunch of cans of tuna, get ready for the apocalypse. That's what I want to do.
But is that, were you funnier, or was it just you enjoyed the difficulty more? I mean, I don't know if it makes you funnier because it's a harder show to do, or it's more.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either. But I will say that what I liked about it was that just that those years where you just like, so much of your stand-up career is just one impossible situation after another, and you're just standing there trying to do the math, like, how the fuck am I going to get these people? We don't have a microphone. Is that going to be a problem?
Can you do 10 minutes while the band changes?
Yeah.
No, I can't. They're just going to take the instruments off and on the stage. No, that's not how it
and
works.
as you're doing it, they're coming in there tuning up. Done gigs in hallways.
Yeah.
Hallways, areas that met in a hallway, cafeterias at like 1 in the afternoon.
Sure.
The college kids have no idea there's going to be a show, and they just go, we have a comedian, his name's Bill Burr, here he is. And then you just walk up there and have to do an hour.
Sure.
Just an hour
I know.
of humiliation. I would always say to myself, in an hour and 1 minute, this is going to be over. And I'm going to be in my car driving away. And that's what I would do. And the part that I hated was the waiting to go on.
Yeah, I still do.
Once you go on, it's the hourglass has been turned over.
Yeah.
The sand's starting to fall. And every second you're up there, whatever hit you take, that's one less one you got to take.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
I used to always call it my college agent afterwards, flipping out, going, I'm fucking done with these things. I'm never fucking doing this again. I don't give a shit. He'd be like, all right. And then he knew I needed the money. Then he'd call me up and he'd be like, Billy, Scott Bass. That was my agent. Scott Bass calling. I know you said you're not going to do this, but I do have a nooner. I'm going to build around it. And, by then I'd be at home. And I cooled off. It was a couple weeks later from being on the road, and the rent was coming. I needed the money. And he would be like, all right, it's going to pay $700. It's like in the middle of Iowa for $700, all inclusive.
It's worse than that for people. Everyone's got an iPhone,
Hey, look. No, I can't say that. I was going to say he's gone. They still came out with another one, right? That's true, right? Oh, look, when David Lee Roth left Van Halen, could Eddie not play guitar anymore? You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's a good analogy. What makes you feel old about watching TV?
There's music. There's no guitar solos anymore. And then for some reason, with all this technology, millennials, if you take a full water bottle and you flip it in the air and it lands upright, they run out of the room like they just saw a witch. And I'm in the middle of watching the World Series, and out of nowhere, they have this moment, stand up to cancer. I'm watching a ball game, and all of a sudden, everybody stands up. No, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy.
What your take is on Joe Biden?
His hand's on woman's hip, right? And then you take the picture and you just start writing a bunch of creepy shit about what he's doing. It's not like he went for side boob. He wasn't like sliding up. No, it's a total overreaction.
Is that the face someone makes when they're going for side boob?
I would think so,
Here he's go. Conan's going for it.
I would say 13% of people on the internet are cool. The rest of them, they're just a bunch of animals. Why would you want to talk to them?
Wait, you're saying only 13% of people are
cool. 13% are cool. The other 87% are writing horrific stuff under YouTube videos. They're assholes.
Yeah.
Women are so overrated, right? We went from We went from not listening to them to now it's ridiculous. Like that believe women. It's like all of them.
Going around saying that 87% of the world sucks, you're not going to get one.
No, but this is the thing.
They're not going to give you one.
I can say that because there's nothing you can take away from me. What are you going to do? You're going to say I can't do stand-up in strip malls anymore? That's usually the punishment. So the genius.
There was a lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. They taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that. You never saw Weird Science, how creepy these nerds are? All these cameras on your phone, all of that. The people go on Ancestry.com. Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement? I was making fun of the military, you know, which you can't do now. Like, we totally went from Vietnam, all the hippies being like, hey, man, you're like a baby killer, man, to like now you got to give like a standing ovation when they walk over to Delta. You know what I mean? You know, show that you're not in ISIS. Like, I don't know what you have to be doing. Like, thank you. It's the millennials. You're a bunch of rats. All you're doing is trying to get people in trouble. That's all you're doing, taking pictures and recording people. He said this, but did you really mean that?
Well, what did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so mad?
I was just saying, like, yeah, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missile shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that, like, points in the direction that the plane takes off in...
So does your wife watch any of these games with you? Does she?
No, she has the female, complex, multitasking brain. That's why they can't be happy. They just always, they're like, what is that lizard that can look at two things at once? That's what they're like. So you got to figure out a way to, like, thin out the herd, and it's too late. These are the hard decisions that are going to have to be made.
We're here to hear about some hard choices.
Yeah. So you know how I would do it?
What?
I would randomly sink cruise ships. Now they're going after like 100-year-old guys. My question is, when are they going to go after the whores? Right?
What?
Why are you looking at me like you don't know what whores are?
Divorce. Oh, divorce. I thought you said the horse.
No, I said whores. You're both wrong. I said whores.
Oh, whores. Whores. Wait a minute. Andy and I, this has never happened before where you and I both misunderstand.
Yeah. That's what killed me when Bruce became Caitlyn. That was like a national news story, like at a ridiculous level. He should have given us a chance to say goodbye. I watched him on the Olympics. I watched him on Chips. I watched him on that horrible show my wife watched where he just walks around in the background. That's what I've learned.
Oh, God.
You know what makes women happy? Nothing. Nothing makes them happy, and that is why they are slowly taking over the NFL, because it annoys them that we can just sit there with, like, a pizza and a drink, like, that's not holding, and just be like, and enjoy ourselves. And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of like be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country.
Yeah. 20 years, you work your way up to the front, and now still they won't let you...
Yeah, now that fat guy's considered disabled because he can't stop eating cookies. So he gets on. Look at him groaning. 90% of the world is starving to death. That guy. Eat a salad and get on the treadmill like the rest of us. We're all working out. What is the problem? The only thing I didn't like was that shot where he was playing hoop.
Yeah, it went viral, I think. He was playing basketball and he took a shot and went in.
He was playing with his black friend that he's paying to lose. Dude, I'll tell you right now, go do a show. Third show Saturday night in a comedy club. I'm telling you, you get an unhappily married woman in an undersexed marriage after a couple of drinks. I'm telling you, cover your junk, because she's coming full court press.
You're having a full-on breakdown.
I am not. You're just not listening.
I am listening to every word.
Didn't she, for the first 5 years, have like midgets who wanted to bang their mailman's boyfriend? And she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it, but she didn't have the power to say no, so she wrote it out. And then when she could make a good decision, she did a show. But she stood on the heads of those little people for 5 years until she got... And then she's sitting there across from this guy like, so how could you... You know exactly what he's doing. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Are you getting into the holiday spirit? We're getting close. Christmas coming up. Get excited? Come on.
Yes, I am. I actually like the holidays, and Thanksgiving is my favorite because you just get to eat and that type of thing. But I don't know. I don't like that Black Friday type of stuff. It just freaks me out. Makes me sad for Americans watching them getting trampled, you know?
Yeah. You don't like
Why
Black
would
Friday?
you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? Why wouldn't you just admit that you can't afford it at regular prices? Come back the next day. Come back the next day like a gentleman. And just walk in there, pick out what you want, and if your kids get less, they get less. That gives them drive. You know, rich kids just sit around, you know, doing blow, sitting in Ferraris. They don't do anything. It's the poor kids that they make stuff happen. So
Yeah.
you don't get trampled, grabbing your wig, you know, suspenders flying off. It's so sad. To do what? Get an above-ground pool for $30 off? There is nothing in Walmart worth getting trampled over. There's nothing. It's processed meat. Processed meat, clothes, all of it. You're gonna get trampled. Like, make it like a high-end store. Like, go into, I don't even know where. There's nothing worth getting trampled. It just makes me depressed.
Yeah.
That you would do that. And people sit out for like weeks.
There's a week.
They don't even go to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like, they're on their cell phone and their mom's crying. I just think you'd want to spend it with us. And you're sitting out there in that parking lot, feeling those people breathing down the back of your neck, just going like, knowing who you're gonna elbow. It's just the saddest.
There are women that waited 22 days at Best Buy. They waited 22 days.
And what did they get? What do you think they got?
I don't know.
Do you think they got trampled?
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're gonna go there, you don't want to be at the front of the line. You want to be about 40 deep. And I figure you pop out of the line and you wait till that first wave or two falls down, and then you go over the top like Walter Payton back in the day. Roll out of it. But even then, you got to know where to go in the store. Like, where is the thing that is on sale, right? Where are those mint Milano cookies or whatever they have that you're going to make a beeline for? On that linoleum floor, you're going to blow out a deed? It's the saddest thing. It's one year what people should do. You know, like Richard Branson, one of these hot air balloon rich guys, should just like float in over them right before it and just start dropping everything that they want. But even then, they would start stampeding. Like, no matter how many hot air balloons he had.
No, it's a bad idea. You don't want billionaires in hot air balloons dropping toasters on people. That's just a stupid idea.
You have like a little parachute. All right, gift certificates.